Hola, it is me, ex-presidente, up at Atesh Green Cricket Club with a selfie stick, which is a big investment for me at my age. I'm here to tell you a bit about Atesh Green's carbon credentials and its quest towards carbon net zero, the whole Carbon Champions programme. I'm doing it ad lib because I can't edit this stuff, so just bear with me, okay? It's a lovely day here today, and if I try to turn this round, which I can't, I'll just have to turn myself around. It's a lovely day at the Green. I've been up here since, not obviously continuously, but I've been playing at the Green since 1973 with Reg Rolfe's Colts. The club has been around for 75 years next year. I've been here for 2/3 of them, and I've got a kind of bit of love for the club, really. And what I've been doing is fighting climate change, one community at a time, at the Green since 2013. Initially with the help of Reece Topley, who's gone on to much bigger and better things, but enough about that. But the thing is now, guys, we've done enough. I've done as much as I can, the club's done as much as I can. And things are changing. I mean, the actual heath doesn't look that different to the 1948 when the club was founded. A couple of new houses, the cricket has grown a bit, and of course the pavilion has got extensions at either end, which I was involved in. But some things are changing, and the big thing is climate, which if you've been listening to the news, hopefully you might have noticed that things are getting worse climate-wise, and cricket is the sport that's most impacted, or the field sport that's most impacted by climate change. And I don't know if you can see that over there, but our kind of wildlife zone has grown to the outfield because we haven't played here yet this season, and I'm talking to you on June the 5th, one day before the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and that's a record. And do you know what? It's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And as a responsible member of Atesh Green Cricket Club, we've been addressing this for 10 years, and now we're trying to actually anticipate, mitigate and do things about it now. But the club has done as much as it can, okay? We've reduced our energy as much as we can with LEDs, with different fridge. Oh my goodness, what have we done? All the kind of stuff. We've done loads of stuff. If you go to Green Initiative on the club website, you'll see what we've been up to. Look, I can put it nearer and closer. I think further away is better for all concerned, okay? But you know, the club has an ambition to keep leading the way, because we're about a decade ahead of every other club on this one. We've been carbon balanced. That means we measure, offset and reduce our carbon emissions every year. If you go to Green Initiative on the website, you'll see all about that. But we're going to go even further ahead, because we're going to be carbon net zero by 2030. We've done all we can. We now need members, i.e. the people hopefully watching this video, to take part as well, okay? And look, part of the reason I talked to Tim Chambers, the club chairman, about this, well, they don't know what we're supposed to be doing, all that. Absolutely. My job as ex-president and carbon champion is to help you understand what we need to do. And here's a kind of tagline which we like, which is less is more, okay? And M-O-R is spelled M is for measure, which means we measure our carbon emissions. O means offset. We offset our carbon emissions, which means we buy natural assets that wouldn't have otherwise have existed to absorb the carbon we've emitted, i.e. not dodgy kind of Turkish wind farms and stuff, which the financial services sector are kind of peddling. And the big one is R, which is reduce. So we need to reduce our carbon emissions. And whilst the club has done all we can around the clubhouse and other things, it's you, the club members, that we need help to reduce, okay? Now, the really good thing about this is, over the last couple of years, I've invested vast amounts of time and money, okay, bits, in creating a platform that does all this for us. So measuring is automatic and predicts and projects in 3 dimensions what we and any other cricket club needs to do to become carbon net zero by 2030. The offsetting is all funded by a fantastic organisation called Neutral Territory that's committed to offset and buy woodland, natural assets, peatland, whatever it takes to absorb the emissions, hopefully reduce the emissions that Atesh Green does over many years, okay? But the thing I can't do, and we can't do, is reduce it, and we need help from you, okay? So let me go to my script. The approach we take is what's called fun skills winning, and I got this from the Australian Schools Cricket Handbook. Okay, way back when I used to coach youth section. It's got to be fun, particularly for young people, because young people are the people who are going to be affected by this. I'm going to be dead and gone long time before it all goes pear-shaped, although it's gone pear-shaped pretty much in April and May this year. Okay, it's got to be fun. Okay, so there's lots of rewards, something called gamification, which tries to make it fun for people to do these things. Skills is where we're going to help people understand what we're trying to do, what the carbon crisis is all about, other sustainability issues, putting all that online in a gamification. Oh, look, there's some people on the heath. Gamification, online fun system. And winning is where we measure and offset and reduce our emissions using a fantastic platform that we've had developed just for that purpose. Okay, now the really good thing is it does the measuring and offsetting is done already. It's the reducing that's important, but you know, I can't think I've said that already. Okay, so the big question to you, ATES Green Club members, is what can you do next? Okay, well, reducing is key, and the biggest source of carbon emissions for the club is transport. If you want a cure for insomnia, read my news posts from a couple of weeks ago, where I estimated that if we'd have played, which we didn't, all of our games, we'd have clocked up about 6,500 miles of every car, but 11 cars for every fixture, which is from here to Peru, which I'm not going to drive to Peru, or no one wants to do that, but it's just giving you some example of the vast amounts of transport that's involved in recreational cricket. And if you multiply that by the 6,500 cricket clubs in England and Wales, then I think it came to about, over a season, we'd go to the moon and back 500 times. It's a lot of transport. So the thing we want you to do is car share, okay? There's fewer, better, nearer. They're the things we can do. Fewer is the best. That's the quickest way we can win this. So everybody can be a carbon champion, okay? And I'm not going to go on about that now, but you know, car share. Every team, every game, every training, let's do it, okay? That's the quick way to get a win, okay? The second one is reduce. We're widening the scope of our emissions, okay, from energy, transport and food, which was, bless him, the guy, Forest Green Rovers, Dale Vince, we picked it up from that. And now we're looking into clothing, kit and cloud storage, which is something you might not have thought about. Can't do much about the latter, but we want you to reduce the amount of equipment and clothing you buy. Just ignore those emails from dodgy manufacturers in Asia somewhere who have not only carbon but serious damage to sustainability and environment, and those from Joe Young probably, who wants to get you to buy a new colourful kit for the midweek season, for the midweek team, and just reuse it. Okay, that's the thing you can do as well. And the last thing is support the capital projects that we've got coming up. Okay, this pavilion is okay, but we've got ideas to make it better insulated, PV panels, battery storage. That's one project. Another project on the grounds. Okay, there we go. We desperately need to improve the drainage, not just so we can get through a season like we've had this year, but so we can get through the sort of weather that people anticipate in another 75 years. And here's a spoiler. I mean, the Castle Park will be underwater by then if nothing happens. So Colchester needs to start thinking about moving. But that's just an aside. But ATES Green, we need to get drainage and other stuff, use of grey water, wastewater, because the summer's going to get hotter as well, and we can't afford to buy the water to water the square. We need to plan for the future, not just next week. Okay, and the third one is our EV charge points, because we need to encourage and motivate, and bless them, our sponsor Neutral Territory will fund all of the electric vehicle charges for players and opposition until 2030. Okay, and we need other clubs to do likewise to encourage and motivate people to switch to electric vehicles. Okay, I think that's about enough. I've got about a second left. It's 10 minutes. That's twice as long as I anticipated saying, but there's just so much to do. Promise you that next editions will be shorter and more fluent, but in the meantime, thank you so much for listening.